Most entrepreneurs fail, but if you watch this video, you won't. Hi, my name is Craig Ballantyne. I'm host of Early to Rise Radio, and today you're going to discover the one mental mistake that you must avoid if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. You're also going to discover the one productivity mistake and the one sales and marketing mistake. If you avoid these mistakes, you'll be able to grow 10, 20, 50%, even 100% per year, like some of my clients. For example, Bob Ferguson, when he joined our coaching program, he was at 3 million per year. This business had been around for 20 plus years. In the first year of joining our coaching, Bob went from 3 million to 4 million, a 33% growth. And then this year he went from 4 million to 5 million. He's still growing at multiple double digits, all because he now has better systems in place. And this was not a brand new business. It's getting the benefit of being new and exciting. No, it's one that's been around for almost a quarter of a century. So let's dive deep in here and make sure that you stay until I talk about the mental mistakes, because the mental mistakes kill most beginner entrepreneurs faster than anything else. So on the productivity side, most entrepreneurs, because you have ADD, you have too many things going on. You're jumping from this to this to this. You have too many distractions. And when you have too many distractions, it uses up your brain power. And when your brain power is all used up, you're going to start making undisciplined decisions. If you're a tennis fan, they call this an unforced error. An unforced error is when you're rallying with somebody and someone hits the ball to you and you just hit it in the net because you want to make a cool shot down the line. That was an unforced error. And most entrepreneurs make unforced errors because their brain is so full of ping pong balls going back and forth because they have ADD, or they call themselves ADD and they mentally have convinced themselves so they have ADD, and they're chasing shiny objects. So you have to step back. And you have to look and do some self-reflection and say, am I really focused? How many goals am I chasing right now? For example, we had a client in our millionaire mentorship. He told me he had 5 goals for the next 90 days. I told him already, this is wrong. And then he showed me what he was doing for the next 48 hours. And he had so many other activities going on that none of them, not a single one of them, was associated with his top 5 goals for the next 90 days. And I called him out on it. And I said, hey, listen, imagine someone came to you. This is a great coaching tool, all right? So what I'm about to teach you can almost replace me as a coach because it is so powerful. So here's the coaching tool. Really, it's just a coaching question. What advice would you give to somebody else if they came to you with the same problem that you're having right now? And so I said that to our client. I said, what advice would you give to somebody if they told you that here were their 5 goals and then here are the activities that they're doing in the next 48 hours? And he said, tell them not to do half the stuff they're doing in the next 48 hours and focus. And that's exactly it. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have to focus. That's why books like Essentialism and The One Thing resonate with so many people, because they know that's the truth. Now, it's simple, but not easy to do that. But you have to do the self-reflection and identify what truly matters to you. Narrow your goals down to one major goal per quarter, and then build out your 90-day planner. We have a 90-day planner that does this for you. And if you want it, just comment 90-day down below, and we'll help you stay focused on achieving your goals. And when you fill out the planner and you actually execute on the plan, you'll probably achieve your 90-day goals in about 35 to 55 days. That's what we see on average with our clients. So if you get focused and you kick ADD to the curb, that's going to put you so much further ahead than all the other entrepreneurs out there who fail. Now, the second thing you need to do is on the sales and marketing side, and it's picking the right marketplace. If you want to be successful, the best thing to do is solve rich people's problems. They pay a lot better. The profit margins are much higher. But what most entrepreneurs do is they pick a bad marketplace. They either pick a marketplace that is declining, like, for example, getting into newspapers, right? If you get into newspapers, their subscriptions are declining. Bad marketplace. Or they pick a marketplace that does not have the discretionary income to buy their products or services. For example, fitness coaches. You can be a fitness coach to single moms under 25, or you can be a fitness coach to women over 45 who are professionals. Which marketplace is better? It's obvious. The ones with money, the women over 45 who are professionals. And yet I see this time after time, male fitness coaches who want to be the muscle building coach to men under 20. They have no money. It's a horrible business market. And I know that's an extreme example, but whether it's choosing a restaurant or choosing, if you're a financial advisor and choosing your marketplace and where you're going and looking for customers, you need to pick the marketplace that is growing and that has the money to spend. And that's where you can be the market leader. That's where you can have the revenue and the profit margins that allow you to go and hire and delegate Stop doing all the things so that your business can grow. If you make the mistake of choosing the wrong marketplace, it doesn't matter how good you get at the 4 high-income skills that I'm going to teach you: copywriting, selling, speaking, and leadership. You always have a dog of a business. What you need to do is create what Richard Koch, who's an amazing author, an amazing business person, he's a billionaire. He wrote the 80-20 principle, and he wrote this book called the STAR principle. And the STAR principle is not as popular as the 80-20 principle, but the STAR principle teaches you to pick a marketplace where the market is growing and you're able to charge higher prices and you're able to differentiate yourself from other people. You're like a market leader immediately. And when you do that or come close to it, your business is going to scale a lot faster. There's a few other things in the marketing area that are offshoots of choosing the wrong marketplace. And it's having a bad offer is the next one. So you might have chosen an okay marketplace. You might have chosen a great marketplace. But if you can't communicate what you do and how you're different than everybody else, then it is going to be a very tough slog for you. So if you have a general, very competitive business, like what I mean is there's a lot of competition, it's going to be hard for you to stand out. So what we do for our coaching clients, and this is a game changer, especially if you're a coach or you sell courses, is we do something called a $1 million offer audit. And we go through and we raise the value of what you're selling so that you can then raise the price and increase the differentiation. For example, we have a client who is a non-surgical orthopedic doctor, which means he does stem cells. He does stem cells in Arizona. And he's just outside, he's about an hour and a half away from Scottsdale. And in Scottsdale, businesses charge about $15,000 for what he does. And he was charging $7,000, but he did it better and had better after patient care. So we went through his offer and we able to increase the value of it. Like he was just basically saying like the value that he was offering his clients was about, is like, hey, this is a $15,000 value and it's only $7,500. That's not enough of a change. There needs to be more value in the eye of the prospect. So we extracted a few things from his offer. We pulled it out. We put higher values on things and we raised it up to about $35,000 and allowed us to increase the price to about $13,000. So if you're not understanding, what I'm saying is he was delivering $35,000 worth of value, but he only described about $15,000 of the value. There were so many things in his offer that he didn't think were important to the prospect. And because he's an expert, he has what's called expert syndrome. Everybody thinks they know that they have imposter syndrome, and that's holding them back. But in a lot of cases, you have expert syndrome because you devalue what you do for other people. And because you devalue it, you don't have the right price, the right profit margins, and it holds your business back. So we went into his business and we said, you're doing this for them. That's $1,000 value. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they cared about that. And so we did that over and over and over again in a mastermind session with this doctor. And so by the end, his offer was now $35,000 worth of value for $13,000. So it was a 3X, right? And it's pay 13, you get 30, almost 3X your money's worth in value. So he's closer to the Scottsdale prices. And guess what? There was no change in his conversion. In fact, he worked with Joe Marcoux. You got to go search out Joe Marcoux on Instagram. And he is our sales trainer. Like we hire him for my sales team. We have him speak at my masterminds. Joe Marcoux is amazing. And this doctor was in Joe's program and learned how to sell better. So he raised his prices, learned how to sell better, and his conversion rate went up. Most people think, oh, if I raise my prices, my conversion will go down. No, just become better at sales. Go to Joe and become better at sales. And so by getting better at sales, that's another way entrepreneurs will succeed. You'll be able to charge higher prices, higher profit margins, which means you have more money to invest in getting new customers. You have more money to invest in having team members come in and take over your daily to-do tasks so that you can focus on the big things. So this doctor now has another doctor coming in to do the procedures so that he can focus on growing more clinics and expanding. That's what you have to do. And it all starts with a $1 million offer audit that we do for our clients. That helps you better define your niche market. If you have a niche market, you're going to be able to charge higher prices and do better marketing. It also helps with your differentiation. If there's an apples to apples comparison, like, hey, you've got this service and your competitors have the same service, then now all the consumer does is go, well, this apple's cheaper than that apple, so I'm going to go and buy it. You need to have an apples to pineapples comparison where you're the pineapple. You're so much better than an apple. And that's why you're able to charge higher prices. They can't compare. An apple is not a pineapple. It might have part of the same name, but it's not the same thing, because yours is better. And that comes from the offer audit, the niche market, and the differentiation. The next thing that's missing in your market is you don't have social proof. You've helped people. You have happy customers. and yet you don't tell the world about it. My friend Sharran Srivatsaa, who runs Real, which is a brokerage and is growing, it's the fastest growing brokerage in North America. And Sharran has been the CEO of 5 companies that have sold. This guy is a brilliant entrepreneur. And he teaches his real estate agents, stop making promises and start showing proof. So proof over promise. Proof over promise. What does that mean for you? Well, right now you're going around and you're saying, hey, I promise you, my program, my product will do this, right? Our stem cell guy, I promise it will be good for you. What we need is proof. Of course you're going to say it's good. You own the business. You're not going to say that it's not good. And if I go to a restaurant and I say, hey, is this good? They're going to say, yes, the food is good, even if it's not. And so what you need is proof from other people. You need social proof. You need testimonial pictures, testimonial quotes, testimonial videos. And what we teach our clients to do is use the 5 hero's journey questions. And the first one is, where were you before you got started with Craig's program? Or where were you before you got the stem cells? Like, what were you suffering from? Another way to do it, Alex Hormozi had a great idea, is have your clients say, ask them this, is what was the worst situation that you were in? What was the worst moment before you got this solution? Tell me about your lowest point, your worst moment. So now we can see the hero's journey. If you know what hero's journey means, that's what every movie is. The hero goes into its worst moment, and then the rest of the movie is about getting back and above the worst moment. So we want to do that same sort of thing with our social proof. So the first question is, where were you, or what was your worst moment before you got started? The second question is, what were you skeptical of? Most people skip over this question when they're asking their customers for testimonials because they don't want anybody to know that there's some negatives or that people have skepticism. But it's very helpful because the prospect is sitting there very skeptical. And if they hear somebody else say, oh man, I was broke and I was super skeptical, but I did it, they go, wow, they were broke, I'm broke. They were skeptical, I'm skeptical, but they did it, and I should probably do it too. The third question is, what was your biggest breakthrough? So did you learn something? Or did you have an aha moment? Or was there a first big victory that got you some results, momentum, and motivation? And then the fourth question is, what were your specific results after using this product or service? Did you lose weight? Did your knee stop hurting because you got the stem cells and now you feel like you're 23 years old again? What were your specific results? Oh, I got Craig's Millionaire Morning Routine and I was able to write a book in 35 days. That's an actual quote from a guy named Mike Zeller, and we use that in our ads. Russell Brunson is another one of our specific results, and he said, I got an 8-hour workday done in 2 hours thanks to Craig's routine. You want specific results from people to share in the testimonial. And then finally, the fifth question in the hero's journey is, who would you recommend this for? Who would you recommend this for? And they'll say, I'd recommend this for anybody who's broke, who's skeptical, who wants to get more done and make more money. You need to get Craig Ballantyne's Millionaire Morning Routine. That's a very powerful social proof. That proof is so much greater than me going out and promising people stuff. Here's somebody, third party, not part of the company, is giving social proof. And then if you have enough of it, you should have a wall of testimonials and success stories. And again, some can be videos, some can be written, and pictures, and as much detail and specificity as possible, because all the objections going through somebody's head are like, oh, they're younger than me, so I can't do it. They're not married, so I can't do it. I'm married, I've got kids, I'm old, I can't do it. And if you show somebody who's old, married, has more kids than the person watching, that's all their excuses. So you need to have that social proof. Another way that entrepreneurs fail is they don't have risk reversal. So they don't have a guarantee. And then another way is that their mindset is so messed up that they have scarcity mindset and they're selfish and they fear criticism. So they don't even sell in the first place. And that's just one part of the mindset aspect that's holding you back. You can't fear criticism. You can't fear selling, because when you don't sell, you don't help. And when you don't help, other people stay hurting. When other people stay hurting and you're fearing criticism, your business is going to go under. So you have to get over that. You have to realize that when I'm selling, I'm not selfish. I'm actually generous because I have a product or service that can help people. And if I go and do that and I charge a good price, I can then go and advertise and help more people. And I can then hire a team and go and help more people. Think about all your favorite brands, all the things that you buy. If they didn't sell and they didn't market hard, you wouldn't know about them and your problems wouldn't be solved. And you have to do the same thing. You have to take the same approach. And so now we've shifted into the mindset stuff. And the mindset that kills most entrepreneur businesses, I see this all the time in beginners, is it really comes down to 3 things. 1, you're a panic button pusher. So if something goes wrong, you hit the panic button right away. Oh my gosh, a team member quit. How are we ever going to survive? And that makes you a fatalistic failure. Every failure, every setback is the end of the world. And if you see everything as the end of the world, you'll never have the mental energy to put to creative problem solving, right? You don't have problems. Actually, you have puzzles, and all puzzles can be solved. So you have to switch your mindset from, oh, I got so many problems, it's the end of the world, I'm hitting the panic button, I'm all stressed out, I'm a 0 out of 10. If you have that approach, all your negative energy is going to be using up your brain power, which means you will be making undisciplined decisions and putting you in the doom loop of even worse situation. But if you break free of that and go, it's not a problem, it's a puzzle. Every puzzle is solvable. I'm going to put some creative energy towards it, solve this problem, move on to the next one. That just shows you that you have the steady emotions to be an entrepreneur. But the third thing that I mentioned, there's 3 things on the emotional side, is the panic button pushers, the fatalistic failures, and then riding the emotional roller coaster. If you are always up and always down and always up and always down, because you make 2 sales and the next thing you know, you're like, man, I'm a billionaire company. Okay, slow down. Or if you get 1 refund, oh my God, I'm going to go bankrupt. No, you got 2 sales and 1 refund. Okay, just settle down here and stay steady. Get control of your emotions, because worse things are going to happen. The business is going to flood. A storm is going to hit. You're going to have an amazing sales day, and you're going to think that every day is going to be amazing. And then the next day you're going to make no sales. And you have to be mentally steady to deal with that, because entrepreneurship, man, it's like parenting. It brings its ups and downs, and you can't control that, but you can control your emotions. So you can hit the panic button. And when things go wrong, sometimes you actually have to kill a project. And the faster you can kill a bad project or fire a team member that doesn't fit in, the less damage it's going to do, and the further you're going to get ahead. Beginner entrepreneurs let those bad things stay in their business too long until they create such a cancer that it destroys the entire organism of the business. I have a client named Jason Capital. He is the fastest to kill bad projects. So this guy had multi-million-dollar businesses. He sold over $100 million of products online. And if something was only making a couple $100,000 a year, to some people it'd be like, man, it's making a couple $100,000. He'll kill it, because he only wants things to make 10, 20, 30, $40 million a year. And so you have to be willing to kill your darlings, even the stuff that you put a lot of time into. You can't be emotional about those things. If the project is not good for your business, if the team member is not a good fit for your business culturally or performance-wise, you have to sever ties and move on and not get emotional about it. People are going to quit on you and you can't get emotional about it. People are going to refund your product or service. I used to get refunds all the time for my workout program that I sold online because people couldn't download it. They didn't understand how to download it, even after reading the instructions. They weren't insulting me. But when I was a beginner entrepreneur, I was hurt by it. They got a refund on my workout program. Well, it's not that they didn't like the workout program. And it's not like they didn't like me, but I was taking it personally because they didn't know how to use the internet, and that will happen. Now, fortunately, I got over it very quickly, and I get a lot of criticism from people on all types of things online, and you will. But understand, you're getting criticism right now from your mom, dad, your sister, brother, brother-in-law. All these people are criticizing you the moment you walk out of the room. If you're at a family event, they criticize you the moment you leave. So you're already getting criticism, and you're going to get criticism from strangers on the internet. That can't stop you from running your business and selling and doing all the great things and helping other people. So make sure that you build that resilient mindset, and make sure that you get your focus so you get rid of the ADD and distractions. So you got your productivity taken care of, your mindset taken care of, and make sure you choose the right marketplace and have the differentiation and the $1 million offer. So those things are why most people fail. Now, how do you make sure that you don't fail? Well, you get a coach. You get a coach, somebody who has been there and done that and achieved what you want to achieve. And when you have that person in place and behind you, they're going to give you a blueprint, step by steps, so that you're able to succeed. I like to use the analogy of climbing Mount Everest. If you go and climb Mount Everest, do you know that it doesn't count as climbing Mount Everest unless you take a new way up Mount Everest? That's totally BS. That's not true. Everybody takes the same way up Mount Everest. You don't have to figure out a new way up Mount Everest to climb it. So it's simple to climb Mount Everest. You get the Sherpa, you train for a long time, and you put one foot in front of the other until you're at the top of the mountain. It's simple. It's not easy. Now, the path, how do you know where the path is? Well, it's just beside all the dead bodies, right? All the people that died on the way up or on the way down. But it's the same path everybody takes. And it's the same with entrepreneurship. There's a lot of dead bodies in entrepreneurship, but it's a very simple path. Success has left clues. You don't have to reinvent everything. You can go to a coach who's coach other entrepreneurs to make money, and you can get the blueprint for success. You can get our 90-day planner for free and start using it. Just comment 90-day down below this video. But a coach also brings you accountability. A coach also brings you belief. You might not believe in yourself right now, but we believe in you. If you have any intelligence, I can guarantee you that I've met someone who is dumber than you who's made more money, because it's not about intelligence. It's about following instructions and having emotional control. And if you have those things in place and you choose the right marketplace, your business will succeed. It's pretty simple. It's just not easy. So get the coach, somebody in your corner, and get somebody who you deeply do not want to disappoint as your coach so that you stay accountable to them. And when they tell you to go and do something, that you do it and more and come back asking for the next steps. These are all the steps to success. Every single billionaire had a mentor. Every single millionaire has a mentor, and you need to have those in your corner too. The best way to fix all of these problems and make sure that they don't happen, make sure they don't creep into your business, and make sure that you get the accountability, and make sure you're around people who are going to lift you up, being around like-minded entrepreneurs, getting off lonely entrepreneur island where nobody understands you at home, nobody understands you in your social circle, nobody understands you in your community. That's lonely entrepreneur island. And doubt and fear creep in when you're on Lonely Entrepreneur Island. The way to get off Lonely Entrepreneur Island is to get to live events, because live events change lives. They put you around other people who share your problems. They put you around other people who have the skill sets that you need to develop. They put you around other people who have the mindset and can pass it on to you. And they put you around people who are a few steps ahead and can show you exactly where to put your feet and go to the next level. And that's all at live events. And we do live events in our business in January and May and September. And so we have another one coming up very soon, and we would love to see you there. So if you want to make sure that your business doesn't fail, and you want to make sure that your business makes millions, then comment mentorship down below to learn more about our live event, and we'll send you all the details. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.